Greetings, greetings, and salutations to one and to all. Welcome back to my channel. And the topic of this video is social engineering. Now, this is a preview of a live broadcast that I have scheduled for Saturday, 8:30 p.m., where an open panel will be available for those who may want to engage in their thoughts of social engineering. Now, of course, as I've placed in the video just a few moments ago, is the Fair Act disclaimer under copyright 107. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is a look at the social engineering definition. Now, of course, there are many sources and many breakdowns of definitions. However, the source I'm going to show is what I'm going to focus on, and this is going to be geared to fast foods and foods and products that may not be so healthy, which will segue into my vegan channel, where I will speak about veganism, clean eating, my experiences, perhaps some of your experiences, and those who may be opposed to veganism. It's going to be open. It is my goal that people will engage, and of course, always have an open mind. So without further delay, I will now share the screen as we look at social engineering. And if you have not already, please, if you like this content, subscribe, definitely share, but more importantly, leave any comments so that they may be discussed for the future broadcast. And again, the Fair Use Act disclaimer, which will also be in the description of this video. Social engineering. Used as a noun, the use of centralized planning in an attempt to manage social change and regulate the future development and behavior of a society. And the example sentence used below the definition reads as follows: the country's unique blend of open economics and social engineering. In the second part of the definition, as it relates to the context of information security, the use of deception to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purposes. And the sentence to expound on that definition reads as follows, but you can see it here. People with an online account should watch for phishing attacks and other forms of social engineering. He's seen everything from the most devious hacks into the simplest social engineering scams. Again, this was just a quick Bing search, and you can do your own at your leisure as it relates to social engineering. Now the next, and this is the meat and potatoes of this video, is how social engineering may impact many consumers as it relates to television commercials. Now let's be honest, how many of us in the early morning or perhaps late at night when we're getting off from work or we're ready to settle in happen to hear or perhaps see a commercial that depicts a decadent cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee? And there are many that are addicted to coffee. I used to be at one point until I realized how much sugar was contained in the coffees I used to order on the go. Also, there is a myriad of commercials out there, anywhere from McDonald's, all of your fast food franchises and chains, snacks and beverages to include vintage Coca-Cola, etc. So the next screen I'm going to share is a video. Again, fair use. And it is for Moonbattery, social engineering, and TV commercials. And take a listen.
Remember when TV commercials used to inform you about the product being sold?
If you've got wood to stain and you want it to dry quickly, use Ronseal Quick Dry and Wood Stain. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that. Well, now.
Actually, I absolutely, and I'm telling on my age as well, remember that actual commercial. Let's continue.
Advertisers are getting a little more ambitious. Why waste time on the product being sold when the product being sold is you? Behold our newest ad campaign. Tasty. Are you sure this will help us sell more burgers? Burgers, John?
Now, they're speaking about burgers. Now, how many of you out there, honestly, and I'm going to present this as a premiere because I would like to see answers for those who would go ahead and engage. How many of you remember coming up and seeing or remembering McDonald's and what was placed on the marquee of over 1 billion served? That's a lot of burgers. A lot of fries. I remember that, and my hand is held high. What say you? Let's continue with this video. And before I continue, I will read the first portion. And it states, the advertising industry has been subverted to leftists The purpose of ads, according to Moonbattery.com, again, this is fair use. The purpose of ads is no longer to sell the products, but to engage in social engineering by ramming Moonbattery down the public throat, or, as Paul Joseph Watson puts it, to amplify establishment narratives to browbeat you into mass ideological conformity. This is why ads are more irritating than ever before. Now, that could be up to debate, but this is according to Moonbattery. And again, please make sure you leave your comments. I do not expect, nor do I want anyone to be in total agreement. I want this to be challenging and engaging. And we are all individuals with different ideas and thoughts. So let's continue with this video.
John Lewis recently released an ad for home insurance featuring a young boy wearing a dress. This will help us sell more home insurance. Home insurance. Within weeks, the ad.
Now that right there may raise eyebrows, because that's an image of a little boy dressed, as you could see, in female clothing. And the purpose, according to this video, and I will boldly assume, but also to be responsible and prudent, allegedly by the advertisers, to sell home insurance. Now, I believe I have a beautiful mind. Many people view me as being a little eccentric, but my being eccentric has made me successful in past performances as well as present. And I do not see in that particular commercial any correlation to selling home insurance. Yes, tangibles were destroyed, but was there really that much of a need for the wardrobe placed on that small child? Let's continue. Again, this is fair use.
Ad was cancelled, not because of its ethically dubious amplification of drag queen kids, but because it was deemed potentially misleading. Because you can't claim home insurance for allowing your kid to trash your home. Maybe if John Lewis had actually concentrated on the details of their service rather than their effusive zeal to portray a boy in lipstick, the ad wouldn't have been banned. But it's not really about the product anymore, is it? This year's Halloween.
Now, that can lead us down another rabbit hole, which this is not the purpose of this particular video, but put your thinking caps on, because this will definitely be discussed in the live that I will have scheduled. Again, please feel free to weigh in on this video. Next, we see Twix. Twix has been one of the favorite candies for many, although mine for everyone who knows me. And when I say know me personally, my favorite is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So we're going into commercials. Again, fair use.
An ad for Twix chocolate bar features a boy facing discrimination for wearing a princess dress. A witch nanny then comes to the boy's aid after he's confronted by a bully.
Hey, you! Princess! You look like a girl. Why are you wearing that?
The witch nanny then conjures up a magic trick to disappear the bully. So parents leave a kid alone until the new nanny comes. She forces herself in, then murders a playground boy. All because he said they look different. You sure this will help us sell more Twix? Twix? But hey, who am I to judge? Why shouldn't young children be exposed to the alphabet experience? After all, it's such a healthy lifestyle. When kids aren't being bombarded by gender-bending confusion.
Now, here we go again, with children being used purportedly to sell or be the proponents of the advertisements for candy, but you see, according to the video, the end result wasn't quite in tune or aligned with advertising candy. Again, your comments and thoughts. You can see how this goes into LBGT and how the children are being used. Or some may feel targeting.
They're being blitzed with pandemic porn. Last year, the NHS terrified children by showing Santa being wheeled into the hospital on the verge of dying of COVID. Heineken, the beer company that proudly supports the total abolition of all borders, at least remains consistent by insisting that there shouldn't be any borders when it comes to public toilets.
Now, that was a quick clip, and it goes back to COVID and a clip of supposedly Santa promising. Again, this is all commercial advertising as it relates to social engineering and TV commercials. Shall we continue? Of course.
But only if you've had your shot and displayed your vaccine passport. In what has to be the most obtuse, left field and awkward strong-arming of social engineering into a crisp commercial ever seen, Grandad dies, goes to heaven, and comes back as a gay ghost.
Hermano, cómo te extraño.
Now, these last few moments appears to have gone into the LGBTQ community. Take a moment to think about social engineering, TV commercials, the demographics, and who can, have been, and are being targeted.
¡Tío Alberto!
¡Qué sorpresa! ¿Qué hubo, familia? ¿Cómo están? ¿Quién es él? Es Mario, mi pareja.
Are you sure this will help us sell more Doritos? Doritos? Look at this charmingly quaint snapshot of suburban British life.
Now, as you can see, they brought up Doritos. I saw nothing remotely close that would increase or had any relevance to the product Doritos nor sales. Let's continue.
found welcome bonus when you join Gala Bingo.
Bear in mind, this is an ad for Bingo, which has an age demographic not much lower than the Queen of England. Are you sure this will help us sell more bingo?
And that was another TV commercial, purportedly for bingo. However, the actor, actress, was definitely a part of the LGBTQ society, transgender, non-binary, perhaps deemed fluid. But again, as you can see in this cartoon, the individual on the left questions, "Are you sure this will help us sell more bingo?" And the character on the right responds, "Bingo." Again, social engineering.
Bingo! Just saw something incredibly rare the other day. A white heterosexual man in a TV commercial. And get this, he wasn't being humiliated. Incredible, I know. Barely believable. I mean, it was Chris Hemsworth, but still, makes a change, doesn't it?
What do they want for Father's Day? For the media to stop portraying dads as buffoons, doofus dads, right? I mean, that's all we ever see.
It's just a burst pipe. I can fix it.
And my husband is,
You missed your spot.
Excuse me.
Seal, shape, and let Oven Pride do its thing so he can do more.
Now, these couple of commercials, and many of you may remember these, some of you may not, portrays men, according to the narrator, as doofus dads. Negative connotation, and if you look, the wife has a scowl and utter disappointment and disgust. And her husband, and here's the product, Oven Pride. As you can see, he has his little rubber gloves on. Let's continue.
Oh, Oven Pride. So easy. A man can do it.
okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
That's making dinner. Oh, it'll be fine.
Maybe.
It used to be that TV ads made fun of men for being unable to care for babies, but that wasn't subversively anti-natal enough. Now women can't be shown to be caring for babies because that would further gender stereotypes. The UK Advertising Standards Authority banned this Volkswagen commercial after just 3 people complained.
Now, as you could hear from the narrator, there has been definitely social engineering as it relates to the genders. And now we'll look at yet another commercial.
Note how the only stereotypes they refuse to amplify are the ones that are positive and wholesome. An ad for Apple's iPad Pro encouraged women to erase men altogether.
Someone different.
Now this, again, is going down a rabbit hole, and we've had many content creators and discussions on gender wars. And what we see here, which in my opinion is extremely dangerous, but again, this is my opinion, when you try to X out the man. Let's continue.
I'm free. I'm free.
Another Apple commercial showed cloned white men jumping into the sea like lemmings. This PC specialist ad was banned in the UK for perpetuating harmful gender stereotypes because it...
And this is exactly what I just said a few moments ago. Many of these commercials have been banned in areas because of dangerous stereotypes. So this can be found, again, fair use, on moonbattery.com. And we will now go into, I'll put this up again as I continue with my commentary. Social engineering as it relates to fast food commercials and the like. Now, many of us, and I've spoken on this before, became so enamored by the announcement of this Popeyes chicken sandwich. Now, there are many fans of Popeyes. Before I turned vegan, I too was a fan of Popeyes, but my favorite was the red beans and rice. Not too much of the chicken, only because of the grease. You pull off the skin. I was able to tolerate some of it, but with all of the franchises out there, I can honestly say, for me, it wasn't the most popular. But keep in mind, and I spoke at this ad nauseum, I believe firmly, and I still believe, social engineering most definitely played an integral role in many wanting, needing, being compelled to not only try but review this popular chicken sandwich, to the point where lines were longer than lines for people to go vote. And I am not being facetious. But what caught me off guard and made me question is how, after so many reviews, and this went statewide, how a franchise such as Popeyes, Louisiana's Kitchen, ran out of chicken for this, quote, special chicken sandwich that so many people were buzzing about. Now keep in mind, violence, widespread violence was a subsequent result for some just to get in line and be one of those who tried and perhaps did a review on this particular sandwich. So the next screen I'm going to share, again, fair use, will be a brief timeline on Popeye's chicken. And again, please feel free, I implore you, to leave your comments on this. And this is brought to you by complex.com. August 27, 2019. Now, my free and critical thinkers out there, please be cognizant of the date, August 27th, 2019. Headline, all out. And I'll read a portion for you. It was inevitable. Popeyes ran out of chicken sandwiches. They had ordered enough stock to last them through September. Had the sales projections stayed within a predictable range. What they did not expect was for the sandwich to go viral. Let's stop right there for a moment. With all of the advertising and those behind the commercials, the ads, and the promotions, do you, this is just a question, truly believe there was no expectation for this particular sandwich to go viral? I personally wholeheartedly disagree. In fact, it is my opinion, and again, my disclaimer, the thoughts, opinions, and commentary of this broadcast is not of YouTube, Google, nor any of its affiliates. These are my opinions. I absolutely believe that it was expected and perhaps projected for it to go viral. That would have generated an exorbitant amount of sales. And keep in mind the amount of the Popeyes franchise throughout the good old US of A and abroad. Further, many restaurants and customers put up handmade, DIY, do-it-yourself signs informing hungry would-be diners that the sandwich was no longer available. And according to complex.com, this unfortunately is a turning point of the story when things go from silly online drama to dystopian satire. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are reading the bold typed text, August 29th, a non-frivolous lawsuit. The decline began, as most things do in America, with a lawsuit. Again, this is complex.com, not me, but complex.com. And according to complex.com, a man who spent hours driving from Popeyes to Popeyes. Now to me, and this goes back to the question, the original, the purpose of this broadcast. Do you believe social engineering as it relates to commercials? Because it does, in my opinion, invoke a stimuli in many people, can affect a person to the point where they would drive from Popeyes to Popeyes in search of this elusive chicken sandwich and filed against the fast food chain, accusing it of deceptive business practices and false advertising. And here's another layer to this. Was Popeyes deliberately withholding the sandwich as a means of stirring publicity? Now that's an interesting question, because if you think of all of the other chicken franchises such as Chick-fil-A, KFC, who has been around forever, Wendy's, who also serves chicken on their menu, and McDonald's with the McChicken sandwich. None of them, to my knowledge, ran out of product. And I do not believe, and if I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know, that there was a chicken shortage that would predicate Popeyes in many areas running out of this particular sandwich. And you can read down further. November 2nd, 2019. And again, ladies and gentlemen, please be cognizant of the dates. Return of the King. Popeyes relaunched their chicken sandwich November the 2nd, this time with additional supply to ensure they would not run out. Now, what was the difference on November the 2nd? What did they do different? What projections were made to ensure, this is according to their words, that they would not run out? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a brief snippet of what will be discussed on the live scheduled for Saturday at 8:30 p.m. A panel, or the link will be dropped for your thoughts on social engineering as it relates to commercials. All commercials, but this is basically as it relates to foods and products, especially those that may not be totally healthy for all of us. Again, the links will be found in the description, and of course, the videos and information shared is under the Fair Use Act, which you can see here, and early on this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I do hope you can join Saturday. If not, the replay will definitely be available, and comments are welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And again, if you like this content, please be sure to subscribe, share, and most importantly, leave your comments so we could be interactive. Thank you. Be safe, be well, be healthier, and until next time, Bye-bye for now.